Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Yesterday I spoke about a WandaVision episode coming out tomorrow, which is now today, because time and dates. So, let's get into it. I've written down a lot of notes, and yeah, I just had to read them, sorry. I enjoyed it, it had a lot of good twists and turns and a lot of characters that were very intriguing and definitely a lot of surprises. By the way, this video is going to be a spoiler video, so if you don't want to see any spoilers or haven't watched it yet, please don't watch the rest of this video. I've got plenty of other content to go and check out, so you should go do that. Zemus Plus. Yeah, let's start off with the beginning. The first two episodes were in black and white, and I didn't mind that. I thought it was kind of fitting. I thought it wasn't good. I prefer it if it was in colour, but I think it definitely did suit the episodes. Speaking of them two episodes, they were good, they were entertaining. They weren't really that good for the story side of things, but they were good for getting to know the characters and understanding the world that they're in, or they think they're in. It's just small things like that, whereas it could be improved, but it's also things that suit the series, so I think them first two episodes are good. The comedy was kind of good. It was a funny series while still being able to have a kind of serious tone, especially towards the end. With things like Vision and the kids dying, I guess you could say. I can't really describe it, but at the end when they just I guess Thanos themselves. That was kind of sad to see. I kind of felt for them characters. And speaking of characters, this is going to be mainly focused on the characters, because there's a lot to go through and a lot of things to say about each of them. I just got a couple more things to say about the plot though, such as finding out about Wanda's backstory. Although we knew quite a bit from Age of Ultron, it was nice to see bits before then with the experimentation and her as a kid when the bomb dropped. And it was also good to see her connection with Pietro, aka Quicksilver. With the other side plots, such as Vision becoming a magician, and all of that stuff, it was again entertaining, but it wasn't anything too special. Again, it didn't really have that much to do with the plot, and it could have been skipped over, and I'm kind of glad that they didn't. It would have just felt like it was kind of cheeked out on, so good to see that. The story with the other Vision was kind of weird. However, I do hope that there's more of him, and I will be talking about him again later on in the video. I just keep on skipping ahead of myself. I shouldn't do that. I should actually pay attention to what I'm saying. So, let's start off with the characters. Wanda, aka Scarlet Witch, was an interesting character. She started off as the mother, or the wife, and then turned into the villain, and then turned back into the hero, and then at the end, in the post-credit scene, I don't know, I'm confused with her, but I like it. I like how confused I am. She's a very confusing character in the comics and other series, like the original X-Men animated series. And I'm looking forward to seeing her in future movies or TV shows, maybe a season 2 of WandaVision, although I'm not sure how they do that. it was good to see that she felt like an even fuller character than she already did, and she had her motivations, like the grief of Vision dying, and probably even Tony Stark. Even though she hated him to begin with, like they were ending up like on the same team and stuff. But in the series, you know, as I said, she's a good character. She helps out a lot. She had her own troubles, especially like towards the end of the second to last episode, where there was all the backstory and all the, like the history of the Scarlet Witch legend. I think that was kind of good to see, and it was also good to see the explanation of her hat thing, the costume that she has, and it was good to see a comic book version of it in the Halloween episode and the more realistic Marvel adaptation of it in the final episode, I guess, with her like magic spells or whatever. Anyway, you know, as I've been going on about her for a while, all I need to really say is that she is great. She has some good moments with everyone, such as the kids. I especially like the part where she was telling them not to grow up. It was kind of weird for her to say that, but I understand where she's coming from as a mother. Not as a mother for me, but it made sense for the context where the dog died, you know, like they just wanted to escape it, but it's good that they kind of made her that mature person after going through a loss herself. Although it's kind of silly that she was allowed to deal with her grief by making the area her own, but also kind of being hypocritical towards her kids, knowing that like she was a bit controlling. But anyway, that's enough of Wanda. I feel like I've gone on about her way too long. She's a great character. Let's go on to Vision. I think he was good for quite a lot of the series, although he was kind of underused, considering that half of the show's named after him. But it wasn't anything that I minded too much, considering that it was WandaVision. It mainly focused on Scarlet Witch, to be honest, and it kind of felt like that throughout the entire thing, although Vision did have quite an important role. I like what they did with him originally being a parent, and then, you know, like being the hero and still confused of himself and not trusting anything because of everything that happens with, I think it's Westview. It was good. I liked how they brought him back to life, with it being fake in a way. Although seeing the White Vision, that's what I'm just going to call him. I know he's probably got a special name, and you know, things like that, where it's just kind of forgotten about. And it's good to see stuff where he's just like talking to himself with White Vision and hopefully coming back. I hope. Now that they did the memory transfer thing, I want to see a bit more Vision, or whatever they're going to call him, or whatever. How many times am I going to say whatever in a single sentence? I don't know. But one thing I do know is he was a good character to follow, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of how they use him in the future, if they decide to. I really hope they do. But yeah, that's all I can really say about Vision. Good character, just a bit underused. Now let's move on to Agatha. Now, which version of Agatha do you want to talk about? Because there's the good version, which is very different to the actual version that they show at the end. It's crazy how like she blended in so well. Like she did a couple of suspicious things, like when she said if they wanted to retake the thing, but reshoot. I mean, on about the scene. It was that she ended up being a villain, and I really enjoyed it. But anyway, let's talk about her when she's not an evil murdering witch. She was good, you know, she was funny, she had some good cameos, and she generally was entertaining to watch. I can't really think of too many faults with her. And then if we talk about the transformation, like, damn, that was that was intense. That was like really crazy. I thought that her being a witch was kind of cool. It was the first time that we've ever seen two magical people actually fight outside of Doctor Strange. So Agatha was a good character overall. You know, like when she was evil, I kind of liked it. The tensions were high, and the dynamic between the two while they were fighting, like all the conversations and dialogue were interesting. So generally, she was a good character. She had some interesting things going on with Wanda being an experienced witch, and to be honest, I don't have much more to say about her. So let's move on to Tommy and Billy, which are Wanda's kids. Tommy and Billy. Billy, I think, is the Wiccan, and Tommy was Speed. I think I got their superhero aliases right. And gotta say, I was quite a big fan of them. I liked what I saw of them. I don't know if they're going to be anything else, considering that they died like at the end, but I don't know. I want to see them in more things. You know, they were good characters. I enjoyed what I saw of them. I wish they were in it a bit more, to be honest. They weren't major roles, like they did help out a bunch, like towards the end, and they were a couple of the plot points. But I would have just preferred to see more of them, to be honest. I quite liked them. Billy was probably my favourite out of the two, although I did enjoy Tommy's interactions with Quicksilver, who we'll move on to now. So yeah, the Quicksilver cameo was very entertaining, being the Quicksilver from the X-Men movies. So already starting to see the cross between the MCU and the 20th Century Fox films, which I'm going to really enjoy. I don't understand some parts of how they have the powers and stuff, or like how Wanda was able to recognize Quicksilver, but you know, it was okay. I could have forgotten if they said like "Hey sister" or like something like that. Hi sister. Yeah, it was good to see him in it. It was good to see his interactions. I'm kind of glad that he wasn't too much of a focus for the show. However, he did bring some like nice conversations with Wanda and the kids. So you know, I can't complain much there. Monica Rambeau, she was quite good. I don't know much about her. I'm looking forward to seeing more of her because I'm pretty sure she'll be in it again. Looking forward to exploring her powers. I don't know too much about her or her comic book counterpart. But what I do know of her was from the show, and I enjoyed what I saw. The reverse story to Wanda, where they both lost someone and she acted like the helper to Wanda getting over Vision's death. Was kind of nice and like sticking up for Wanda, even though like she was mind controlled, I guess. It was all good despite that, and I really enjoyed seeing her. Jimmy Woo. I liked him, to be honest. He was a good character. He's always funny, especially in Ant-Man. Improving his magic, you know, like, bam, magic. So it was good to see him doing his magic. It's kind of funny that he was doing magic in WandaVision. Funny character. Be Here Within the Hour is probably my favourite part of him. You know, when he's captured and stuff. Which brings me on
Monty.
Monty. Brings me on to Monty. Jesus Christ, I couldn't remember his name. I couldn't find the notes that I made on him. Monty is a dick. I'm not going to say too much about him. I hated him. Although I feel like I was meant to hate him for the show. So, whatever. I can't be bothered with him. He was shit. He was a good character. Like, played well. But I just didn't like him. Like, what he did and stuff. So he was a good, bad guy. If you understand what I mean. You know, I don't think Marvel wanted anyone to like him, so they did a good job. Darcy, I think that's her name. She's always good. Character from Thor. She's always funny, you know, like being her usual self. Except this time I thought she was more important than anything she usually is. And gotta say, I love seeing that, where she's now having to take on a bit more responsibility and she's a bit more mature, I think. I don't know. But it was good to see her back. I don't really have too much to talk about, but it was, again, very good. Even the side characters in this were good, like all the background characters, when they were getting annoyed with Wanda for doing the mind control and like feeling the pain from her when they were like free from the magic and all of that stuff. I think it was nice to see that, like that they added some depth to them, despite how little importance they had, really. Yeah, overall, very good. I'm not sure I'm going to have enough time to cover everything that I wanted to in this video, and I don't really have that many theories for the future, so tomorrow I'll be making things that I liked and disliked about the show, as well as a theories video, all in one probably. But for this video guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.